Overnight, we saw the New Zealand and Australian dollar particularly well bid as economic data from around the world showed to be more positive than many commentators were expecting. The New Zealand dollar traded above 83.50 overnight against the US dollar, and the Australian dollar zoomed up above $1.07 against the US dollar. Overnight, European shares were up around 2% as rumours circulated that a resolution on the Greek credit crisis was drawing near. In Europe, we have seen a significant improvement of the situation over there, particularly over the last month. The fact is that Spanish and Italian debt yields have dropped significantly from the highs that we saw, which were above 7%, at the levels of about 5.5% and 4.5% respectively. These yields should be very sustainable for these countries over the short term. Also out last night, US shares were up around 1% as manufacturing data from around the world was shown to have improved fairly substantially over the last 7 months. Manufacturing data there is now at around a 7-month high. In news more specific to New Zealand dairy farmers, the global dairy trade was out last night and was shown to once again decrease. The movements overnight of the trade-weighted index was down around 0.9%. Out of the index, whole milk powder was down 0.9%, and the major mover downwards was milk protein, which was shown to be down around 4.3%. The movements in the global dairy trade have also been reflected offshore on the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, where butter and also milk prices have been down fairly substantially over the start of this year. It has shown recently that farm profitability back in the US is around 8-month lows. Another major news around the world, which no doubt all farmers around New Zealand are captivated about, is the announcement that Facebook is about to launch their initial public offering. The social media network site is expected to raise around $10 billion from the initial public offering. What this means is that the Facebook site is worth around 75 to 100 billion US dollars. And putting this in perspective, the whole of all the shares traded on the New Zealand exchange is worth around 50 billion US dollars. What this means is that social network site that no doubt copious amounts of children around New Zealand are absolutely glued to at present is worth twice as much as the whole of all the shares traded on the NZX.